Hello again, I'm back, and I wanted to talk about, or at least make reference to a video that I posted a while back about waking up and smiling and that sort of thing. And a lot of people kind of look at that as a woo-woo kind of thing. I want to go into that a little bit more because it is actually based in science, and I want to tell you why and how that is. You know, these bodies of ours are regenerating constantly. There's a lot going on inside our bodies. There's a lot of regeneration going on all the time. Our bodies are, they're busy. They're busy. And basically what we think and the nutrition that we give them, what our belief systems are, informs our bodies as to how to produce themselves. You know, I mean, it all works together, and it's being proven scientifically. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a great, doing some great scientific research in that area and having amazing results with rising the energy up, what's referred to as the kundalini energy into the pineal gland, and having the pineal gland then produce the DMT that makes the person into a completely different person. And then as a result of that person experiencing him or herself as a different person, the body also recreates itself as that different person. And you know, things, physical challenges go away because it's a different person. So when I talk about those ideas about waking up and just forgetting everything, being present with feeling good, you're creating another person. Because I don't know, I mean, if you're like me and most people, if you leave it to the default mechanism, what happens? What's the first thing on your mind when you wake up? And is it pretty much the same thing every morning when you wake up? You know, if you keep doing that, you're every morning you're programming your body to be the same body that you have now and that it probably always will be. But if you start to make that chemical and electrical change in your body by doing simple things like that, then your body is going to respond and it's going to regenerate itself as this other person that you're becoming. And so you actually will physically manifest that person as well. So it is really totally based in science. A lot of times, and I've been doing a lot of research, especially since the 70s. In the medical field, my first hero was Dr. Mendelssohn, who was known as the physician's heretic. He wrote the physician's desk reference, referred to as the PDR, which listed at the time all the medications and everything about it, every medication that was in the industry at the time. So he was quite well known, and he was quite a distinguished medical doctor. He held a lot of really influential positions, but he was mocked a lot because he was saying things that the medical industry did not want people to think about or to know. So research, he started me down that long path of researching information. And I've been doing this for a really, really long time. If you go back to 76, you do the math and see how long I've been looking into all this stuff. It's not, you know, I'm not just, you know, looking at something on YouTube and saying, oh, well, that must be true, and I post it. You know, if people might think that, you know, that's just really not the case with me. I've always been a very self-responsible person. I never wanted to say anything unless I really felt like I had reached a point where I knew what I was talking about. I take great importance to personal integrity with my words. And, it doesn't mean I'm always right. And I certainly, if I'm wrong, I want to know I'm wrong and I want to be corrected. And I will certainly be the first to admit it. But I just wanted to say that I've been doing this for a really long time. And and I want to talk about the research now. Now when you research, you can see how much of the information is being scrubbed. It's just not like it used to be at all. And we are being made aware of the fact that Facebook and YouTube and, all these various places where we had access to information, that's all changing. Even Amazon is book burning, evidently. So there's this huge movement, which is so indicative of a totalitarian move over the people that, we really have to wake up to that. But that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is when I just started looking up some of these. I was researching Dr. Mendelsohn because I hadn't come across his work in a long time, and I wanted to kind of refresh my memory about him. And there's certain things that I remember about things that he said that I could not find any longer. And so it's like occurred to me that, my God, are we going to go back to the days when you have to go to the library and use the old card catalog? How many people even know about the card catalog system anymore? I bet not many. Are we going to have to go back to that? And bookstores? And then even when we do that, how much information is going to be available in those places as well? I don't know. But I can tell you, as someone who's been doing research for decades upon decades, that the information just is not there like it used to be. And there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation as well. I was looking at the information about cell regeneration, because you hear certain researchers say that you replace every cell in your body, you have a whole new body in 7 years or something like that. And then you have, so I researched that, and all that came up were articles about how that's just not true, that these cells never regenerate, and that, oh yeah, well, okay, so your stomach lining cells may regenerate in, say 5 days. Your skin cells maybe every week. Your red blood cells every 4 months. Your liver cells every 5 months. Not bad. The liver is so important. If we can regenerate our livers every 5 months, then it's certainly worth doing some liver cleansing and, really paying attention to the nutrition that supports livers, which really, even just that indicates how much power we have over our health, because the liver, is really important. They say bones take 10 years. They say that the intestinal system takes 15 years, whatever. They say that, some organs like the brain and the teeth don't regenerate, although some cells in the brain actually do. The 90% that they didn't think had any function actually do. So, and I remember Dr. Mendelsohn talking about this. He had a brother who was a dentist. And so he got onto the subject of Dr. Mendelsohn, when he had fillings fall out, he didn't replace them. And guess what? His teeth filled back in. So, and that was in the 70s. So, there's a lot of suppression of truth about the regeneration of our cells. So the regeneration of our cells has a lot to do with what we feed our body in terms of nutrition. It has to do with detoxifying our bodies from all the toxins that we're exposed to, which are amazingly, we live in a toxic soup these days, biologically, chemically, and electromagnetically. So, we really have to pay attention to all that stuff and what we can do to cleanse our systems from those toxins and how to protect ourselves from those toxins. But in addition to those things, we have to understand how important it is that our intention, that our belief system, and who we think we are informs our bodies in terms of how to produce us. So if we can begin by simply doing little things like doing what we can to make each day different. If we continue we get up in the morning and we're like, oh, another day, I have to go to work, I really hate my job, I have to see all these people that I really don't even like, I don't want to be around, I don't want blah, 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 all this, and you kind of just pull yourself together and make yourself get up and go brush your teeth and get ready to go to work, and you get in your car and you drive to work, and you're you're in that same room for 8 hours or more a day, and you get in your car and you come home and you do the same things even when you're home. I don't know what it might be. You maybe go to your computer, check your email, put the TV on, look at a game, eat dinner, but then it's time to go to bed, and then you get up and in the morning you do the same thing. Now, 9 times out of 10, and I would say probably 999 times out of 1,000, people, when they first wake up in the morning, don't have happy thoughts. I think even when you go to bed, that's when all the PTSD stuff comes up from your life, all the abuses that you've suffered. And what have you? I think pretty much most of us have suffered abuses quite a bit in our lives, and a lot of us have those thoughts come up just before we go to bed, and also then again just upon awakening. So those are the things that we have to change if we want to change the state of our being, our whole being. If we want to change the things that we attract in our lives, the quality of our friendships, and the people that we have in our lives, the amount of abundance that we have, how happy we are during the day of all the days of our lives, how healthy we are, how good we feel. It begins by creating that person. And these are ways and practices that can help change the chemical and electromagnetic fields that inform our bodies as to how to create us. So we actually can recreate ourselves. We have to ask ourselves, who do we think we are? Because with all the research that's being done, we're finding out that we are far greater than we were ever told we were. I way back, let's see, I was with a psychic research team back in the 70s. 70s seems to be a heavy decade in this particular presentation. And ever since I've been researching, the human potential and all that kind of stuff, and with all the talk these days about AI and, wearing a chip in your brain and how we can just be superhuman and all this stuff, I know inside myself that we are capable of far more than that, and that to put a chip in our brain is really about controlling that. It's really about the people who fear that we would reach the potential that we really have. And this channel is all about reaching that potential, about who we really are. So we can create who we really are, or we can get closer to the reality of the truth of who we really are by employing a few simple practices. So I just wanted to get that across to you. This is not woo-woo. This is science. And if you really want to see the science in action, I would say check out Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dispenza, I think it is, rather than S-A. I think it's Z-A, on YouTube. And he'll show you, he hooks people up, he wires people up to monitor the actual responses that they have as they go through these changes. So we can do that. We can do that. We don't necessarily have to go to, what might be considered an expensive seminar, week-long seminar. Certainly, if you can do it, I would. But don't think of this stuff as woo-woo. It may sound like it. It's not. Have a good day. I love you all. Bye.